Welcome to Empower Hour. Let's get growing. Good morning. How is everybody? Last night was a wild night here in New York with I don't know if it's called the Aurora Borealis or it's just called the Northern Lights, but we had a spectacular show. It was just fantastic. So beautiful, so grounding, such a reminder of how beautiful this world is. And it was a lot of fun. I started my day off with a hike yesterday up to a fire tower here in the Hudson Valley, Kent, New York, the Ninham Fire Tower, and got to see just the leaves changing from this really high level. It was absolutely spectacular, absolutely gorgeous. And then got to end the day with these northern lights. And I just soaked it all in and felt so grateful, so blessed, and just being able to be present for that. And yesterday was such a great, productive day. And knowing that this vision that I've had, I don't want to say for so long, for like the last 3 or 4 years, where you can be an entrepreneur and you can be a business owner and be in your wholeness, meaning you can have a spiritual life, you can have be super present for your family, have a social life, even though I really don't like to stay home, but you can have all these things and still be productive. And that's going to kind of lead to the conversation that I want to have today. I want to talk about AI. And by the way, Jen Marr, Soulful Prosperity Coach. And wait till you see some of the new things that I have that I will be rolling out for the new year. I am so excited, so grateful, all the opportunities that are unfolding. And all of that really comes from clarity. For so many years, I was in that hustle grind mode. I thought I had clarity because I had this 7-year plan and I was checking things off of it, but I really wasn't clear on my vision. I wasn't clear on my values. I really didn't understand what the mission, what the purpose for. It did not serve any greater good. I did not really know what made me unique. I just went and worked hard because you know what, you guys, I can outwork everybody. That's like my superpower. Oh, but man, that's exhausting. But if you have that superpower, or even if that's not your superpower, but you are clear on your vision, your values, and your mission, you're going to make traction faster. And I was turned on to artificial intelligence about 3 or 3.5 years ago. And I really did utilize it a lot in my real estate career. And it made writing, listing write-ups and creating content and doing all of that. It did make life a lot easier. But I know that when I was using AI back then, without being clear on my vision, my values, my mission, my purpose, it did sound robotic. It sounded like every other, but it definitely still made life easier. And I was gaining traction out of using it. But when my whole life blew up and I went into my coaching business and I really took the time, I'm talking like a year, to clarify my vision, my values, and my mission, and then applied that, leveraged that through AI that's where I really, really started to see some amazing results and was able to maximize the benefits that I could get out of AI. And so if you tuned in here today for a how to with AI, no, we're talking about the soulful prosperity of AI, right? AI is absolutely, it's literally like having an extra set of hands. It's like having 10 extra sets of hands. Spending so much time on scheduling, marketing, follow-ups, AI can change all of that and has. And I've only really now started to understand its full capacity. But when I'm working with clients and we get their vision, their values, their mission, and what makes them unique and what their greater good is, when we really nail that and then start to apply artificial intelligence or be able to inject that, what I call the heart and soul of your business, into your AI, you are now going to amplify this vision, these values, and this mission. You're going to be able to articulate and communicate it in creative, new ways every day. We sit down and we do an entire year of content, and it takes like 10 minutes. Now, of course, you're going to probably have to tweak some of that in a year. Things change and so on and so forth. So you start with 90 days. But coming up with 90 days that is 100% aligned with your vision, your values, and your mission is super, 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 super powerful. As opposed to just putting something in AI, having something robotic come back at you. And what I'm hearing all the time is, oh, I don't want to use AI. It sounds so fake. It sounds so phony. It sounds so this. Well, that's because, and you guys, this is the same exact reason why we're struggling with the workforce. We're struggling with our team. We're struggling with our clients when we are not clear on our vision, on our values, on our mission, what makes us unique, what our greater good is, what our greater purpose is. When we are not clear on that, we're going to struggle in every aspect of our business, never mind AI. But if your team and your employees and your clients are not clear on your vision, your values, your mission, and they don't understand what makes you unique, they're not going to have anywhere near the kind of buy-in, the kind of loyalty, the kind of excitement, the kind of ownership, the agency that they would if you are able to articulate that. And so AI, just like every other thing in your business, really needs to begin with that clarity. And then you start to align AI with your mission, right? Everything that you do is aligned with your purpose. Every time you sit down to create content, to write curriculum, to whatever you're doing, you're not going to have to start at square one. You don't have to remember and but when you do write down and get clarity on your mission, your vision, your values, your goals, and all of that, your greater purpose, you do want to get to a place where you embody it and you are using that language only exclusively so that it becomes comforting, it becomes home for people, and everybody is just clear. And so AI is just like everybody else, it needs to be clear on your mission so that everything that it's putting out for you is aligned with that. And this is where you will start to see where you can free up your time and energy and focus on more high impact work. I'm not suggesting that you use AI to write your book. I'm suggesting that you use AI in those things that are sucking the life out of you. AI could be the greatest marketing, companion in the world. if you feed it the right information. And then you can take this time and focus it more on connecting with clients in a real way. So we're always afraid that technology is going to replace human contact. Where in my world, in my life, including Facebook, including all my social media, technology has almost always deepened my relationships and deepened my connections with people. I guess because that's my intention. And let's go back to that. I mean, really being clear on what your intention is when you begin to use a new tool such as AI, then you're going to get out of it what you desire. And so that fear that this is going to replace my connections is actually, in my opinion, in my experience and how I've used technology, is quite the opposite. It is literally doing so much so that I can show up fully to what matters most. So it's freeing up your time to be able to do that. But also, I'm able to communicate more. I'm able to get my vision out there. I'm able to get my values in front of people, have people understand who I am and what my mission is and what my purpose is. Listen, when I got my real estate license, you guys, there was no social media. There wasn't anything like that. And so, in my 29-year span, watching that progression, and I'm so grateful that I was somebody who was not afraid of this technology of social media, and I embraced it from the very, very beginning. And I would leverage it. I wrote an article for a local newspaper. I would copy and paste it and get it into my content. And so, yeah, it all boils down to your intention and how you're going to use things. So AI can absolutely amplify your impact, but only if you're clear on your vision, your values. It's not going to replace the human touch. It's here to support it. I'm curious how many of you have taken the time to clarify your mission, vision, and values. This is probably one of the most important things that we can do in our business. And I've been talking about workforce struggles and talking about a lot of different things. And really, I think it all boils down to being clear on your intent and being clear on your mission, vision, and values. I'm sure some of you have some questions. I know some have already come in, so if we can get those up. How do we tell AI our values? Okay, so you literally, so I'm not the most techie person, but I take full advantage of tech in every aspect of my business. That doesn't mean I'm using it perfectly, and I have Jose who helps a lot, and I have him learning. So Jose put this in. I'm sure it came from Kajabi or something like that. So this question is a good question. So how do we tell AI our values? Well, it's really that simple. So when you're using these prompts, you start with copying your vision, mission, values, your greater good, your purpose, your what makes you unique. You put it all in. Put in as much information as you can in with your prompt and say, so from this perspective, help me write a caption for this, or help me write some, whatever it is that you're doing. Help me write my about us page on my website. And now AI will have that as a base, right? This is now what I call your heart and soul. And so the content that it will give back to you will be based in this very important foundation of the heart and soul of your business and yourself, right? Um, how do we create a greater good? This is one that can take a lot of time. There's a lot of people in businesses that they truly do not believe create a greater good. Well, literally any service industry business, uh, you are creating a greater good. Let's pick on Park Ford, right? I've been going to Park Ford for nearly 20 years. And even when I bought a car that wasn't a Ford, I went to Park Ford. I was like, you got to find me this car, whatever, because of the experience that I have with them. And the experience that I have with them has benefited my life in so many ways. So now I have no idea what Park Ford's mission, vision, values are, but I do know that if we were able to articulate, so basically they took a single woman, I was predominantly single for the last 20 years. And again, so they took a single woman, single mom who was, very busy running around like crazy, and took the overwhelm of maintaining a car out of my hands. And so if I was working with Park Ford, I would want to make sure that I was able to articulate that into my mission, my vision, my values, what makes me unique, so on and so forth. And I would want to make sure that I'm getting that kind of messaging out to as many people as possible. I mean, this is a world-class experience, but it's not just the experience, it's given me an ease in my life in an area that really would have put me into overwhelm. So there's a greater good. And I guarantee you, most car dealerships don't really think that they're serving a greater good. But if you boil down the essence of any business, you are putting towards the greater good. It's just a matter of being able to define it, articulate it. What are those values that we operate around? And here's another question: how do we define our values? I guess one of the best, you can go back to past clients and ask them, right? You can just sit down and do a session. And one of the things that I think is a really good way to do this is really look at your team, the people that if it was just this one or two people um, that grew my business to its fullest potential, it's because of these traits and these values, right? Or what, maybe you're not fully there. Maybe you need to define these values so that you're using them in your growth path to make sure that you are growing. Because you guys, say it all the time, I had this amazing successful real estate career, but I did not have fully defined values, mission, purpose, greater good, and I was unfulfilled. So we don't want to go down this entire path and still be chasing. I think that's one of the biggest struggles that I see with business owners and entrepreneurs right now, is that they are continually chasing because they never sat down and define the greater good, their purpose, what drives them, what is going to help them feel fulfilled. So it's a process. And this is a process like my Beyond Limits program. This is a major part of what we're doing there, spending a lot of time defining these things and then truly embodying them in all that you do, having your entire team embody these vision. You hire to the vision, the mission, and the values and your uniques, and make sure that everyone that you bring on board has buy-in to these, and we are all speaking the same language, rowing in the same direction, and not poking holes in our boat. So that's about all I have on the topic today, unless anybody else has any questions or thoughts. It's really good to see you guys. It's a little quiet today. Where is everybody? Cold? Well, I am grateful to be here. I'm a little under the weather myself today, so I will be taking good care of myself. And if there's anything I can do, please reach out. If you are looking to get to define your vision, mission, and values, then get on my calendar. Let's make this happen for you. Let's get you into a place where you are not just chasing the dollar, chasing the success, chasing the clout, the notoriety. You are actually aligning yourself with your truest desires, and you are building a life by design and building a business that nourishes your soul. Thank you guys. Have a great weekend.